What's up, guys? King of Duels here. Well, as you guys might have known, I'm starting to put videos back up on my channel. The reason I stopped putting any videos up for a long time is I got stuck. I went on vacation to my mom's house, and my car broke down while I was up there, and I didn't bring my camera, so I couldn't shoot any videos, and there was really no really good internet connection, so I couldn't really go on the internet or anything. It was not very good, but yeah, I'm gonna start consistently putting videos up. I've recorded a lot of videos of some duels and stuff, so I'm gonna put those up. Try to put videos out consistently, maybe 2 or 3 videos a week now. But right now I've got the deck that I've been running, and it's gonna be a shocker to everyone because this deck's terrible. Not really. I'm running Dragunity, which I don't know how to correctly pronounce them. Dragunity, however you pronounce them. But yeah, the deck's been consistently beating out meta decks with the new loop that came out with Galactic Overload. There's on a Red Eyes Darkness Metal loop with the deck that can be achieved extremely consistently. I'll go into that more. I'm going to try not to make this a too long of a video, but I want it to be a long video at the same time, because I'm going to go around how the deck really runs and stuff, because a lot of people threw Dragunity out a long time ago, back when the structure deck came out. They're like, the deck can go Stardust, but first turn Stardust, you know, they drop one card, run over the Stardust, all your work's gone, and you really have no, it's like a one-trick pony. You just go first turn 8-star synchro. Well, this deck now is extremely consistent, and it's extremely explosive, and it can OTK in just OTK fast. You just die. Your opponent just loses. It's really just a 2-card OTK, 2-3 card OTK that you can consistently get with several different cards that you have in your deck. But first off, let's go through the deck profile. Alright, we start off with the mandatory 3 Ducks. Ducks is the best card in the deck, no doubt. These are really the only monsters you can summon in the deck. A lot of people don't know, but this Ducks is the only good monster in the deck to normal summon. Everything else is trash. Without Dragon's Ravine to consistently get Ducks to your hand, this deck would be so bad that it would be worse than the worst deck out there. This would be worse than Moki Beatdown. This would be a terrible deck. But since Dragon Ravines allows him to search, you just get him to your hand every turn. It's like, oh, I top deck. Oh, this card's trash. Ditch it for Ravine, get a Ducks. Awesome. Ducks is just too good. Too strong. 3 copies of Ducks. Mandatory. 3 copies of Phalanx. Phalanx also very good card. He's a part of the Dragunity loop, which, if you did not know, I'll go into later, but the one-trick pony, I'll try to explain it as well as I can to people that have never seen how Dragunities work before. But pretty much what he does is he goes with Ducks. Ducks is when he's normal summoned, you can attach a level 3 or lower Dragunity monster from the graveyard to him. Kind of like Inzektor's, you know, you attach it to him as an equip spell. And Phalanx's effect is when he's equipped to a Dragunity, you can activate his effect, special summon him. He's a 2-star singlet, 2-star tuner. So you got 4 and a 4 and a 2. You can instantly go into a 6, which is how the one-trick pony loop goes, but it gets more complicated there. All right, next, 3 Mistletoe. Mistletoe's a part of the OTK. He's a 6-star mainly because he's a 6-star dragon, so he can be used in several different ways. But you can send a Dragunity to the field. From the field to the graveyard to special summon him from your hand, and when you special summon, you can attach a Dragunity from the graveyard to him. So pretty much what happens is you summon Ducks. You go, please don't have Valor, because the deck dies to Valor hard, but it'll get over it. You go, please don't have Valor, and they're like, you're good, wait, I got Valor, and they Valor you, and you're like, that sucks. Send them to the graveyard. Mistletoe. And you go, oh, you don't have the second Valor? Oh, that sucks. I guess I'm just going to go free Stardust. And you just make them cry because they're like, wow, so I wasted my Valor on nothing. And you're like, yep, you just wasted a Valor. So they're good. They're a part of the OTK, a part of the loop as well, which I'll go into later, but let's get through the deck profile first. Next, one Zephyros. Zephyros is the main card in the loop. Without Zephyros in your graveyard, you can't do much. But you can get them to your graveyard extremely fast. Turn 1 if you want to, consistently. So you only need to run 1. Running 2 is cloggy because you draw that second one and you're like, well, use the Zephyros' effect already. I guess this one's trash. So run 1. I run 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons. Mainly because when you draw them, they're not terrible. Just drawing this card single-handedly in every deck that can run dragons, this card is an OTK in itself. You can remove a dragon from the field and special summon one and get 5,500 damage in almost every dragon deck. Just drop Red Eyes Darkness Metal, 5,500 damage. And this card's gonna be destroyed next format. Dead. Oh god, this is Red Eyes is gone, guys. He's gonna be to 1, or maybe no. I don't think it'll ban, but he's going to 1 because too good. Just oh, look at that! I have a random Eclipse Wyvern on the field. I guess I'll remove it. Summon Light Pulsar, 5,500 damage. Yeah. I only won 1 Legionnaire and 1 Achilles. What Achilles does is he's like a Hornet, pretty much. He's like a Hornet when he's equipped to a monster, but he can't send himself, which is the downfall. When he's equipped to the monster and he's sent to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card on the field. What Legionnaire does is you can send your card, your equipped card, to the graveyard to destroy one of your opponent's face-up cards. So, you send him to the graveyard, you destroy a face-up monster card they have. It dies. Achilles effect activates, you destroy a second card. So you blow up 2 cards. There's only 1 copy of each because you only ravine into them unless your opponent just has the nuts on the field and you're like, well, my loop's not going to do anything, so I'm going to Legionnaire and blow up 2 of his cards. That's really the only reason he's there, but I really don't like it. It doesn't go well with the deck. It doesn't sync very well, but he's there just in case I need him. 2 Valor. I want to run 3 because 3 is too good, but there's not much room. But I'll probably find room for a 3rd Valor because Valor's too good. It's like, oh, 3 Valor's too cloggy. Oh, wow. Any card in this deck. No card in this deck can be cloggy because of this card. This card. You pitch it, you get a Dux. Any card in the deck. Pitch it, get a Dux. So, oh, I don't need this Valor. I drew 3 Valors. What am I going to do? Ravine. 3rd, Dux. Free Dux. 3 Dragon Ravine and 3 Terraforming. The main card in the deck, you got to run 3 of each because if you don't have it, you're probably going to lose. But giving you 6 chances to get it is going to give you a very, very consistent chance of pulling it on your first 6 cards. It's actually about an 85% chance of drawing it on your starting hand, which is amazing because that means 2 out of the 3 games you'll draw it at least. Maybe 3 out of the 3. And that's really all you need. 2 Lance, best card of the format, hands down. With Torrential 2, people running Bottomless now, this card stops it. You just summon Ducks, they Torrential, they destroy all of their monsters, you Lance your Ducks, and then they just start crying a little bit inside. I really want to run 3 because, like I said, no card in this deck is dead because you just ditch it for Ravine if you don't want it. I'll probably find room for a 3rd one because, you know, getting Bottomless and Torrential sucks hardcore, so just lancing it and just going on with your play. Your opponent kills all their monsters and then you just keep on going and OTK them because they have a clear field. 2 cards of Consonance, you run 4 Dragon Tuners with 1,000 attack or less. So it's like kind of like a Lower Darkness in a way with it, except it's a little bit backwards. It's like Solar Recharge. Exactly like Solar Recharge for the deck. Just 2 because I don't run enough targets for it. But what you can do is you start off with a Ravine. So you start off with a Ravine and no monsters. So you ditch a card with Ravine and add Flanks to hand, and card a Consonance away, get the +2. Well, it's not a plus, it's 2 for 2, but you get Flanks to the graveyard. 2 MST, kind of good. Back row doesn't really hurt this deck, in a way. I mean, I run Lances just in case, but I want to make room for a 3rd MST too. But there's a lot of cards I really want to make a room for, just not. The deck's so like cloggy already. It's just so many cards already ran in it. The staple lineup, I don't run Dark Hole. I don't run Torrential. I don't know why. The deck list was just like that when I made it.
Congratulations, you won.
I believe I've won. But, I don't run Dark Hole because it's usually a dead card. When you have a controlling field, you just ditch for Ravine anyway, so it's not as useful as other cards would be, and Torrential's the same way. If you go first, or if your opponent doesn't have the Veiler and they allow you to go off on them, then you don't need Torrential and Dark Hole. You don't want to kill your own field. You'd rather have that Deep Prison or the Bottomless of the Warning. But I might make room for them in the future. Need to play test with this deck more. 2D Prison. Deep Prison's a good card this format. It gets MST'd a lot. Against some Zekers it's kind of bad, but against everything else, good. And it baits out. A lot of the times, setting cards will make your opponent think that set card more prioritized than your Ravine on the field. So they MST your set card instead, which isn't the best play on their move, but yeah, you'll let that pass. 2 Fiendish Chain, awesome card, because you Fiendish Chain and then you're like, oh, look at that Zephyros I have in the graveyard. Good thing this is a dead Fiendish Chain. Bounce to hand, set the Fiendish Chain, get the pluses. Then you got Solemn Brigade. Woo! Solemn Warning, Judgment, Self-Explanatory. Set Judgment and control the field. You win. Extra deck, Utopia. Just in case they Veiler your loop play, you'll have a Zephyros and a Ducks on the field, and you just overlay them. And you have 2 Atum, main card in the loop. You need 2 because sometimes you can go into 2. The extra deck space isn't extremely cloggy. There's room for a few things, so 2 Atum's kind of mandatory. Oh my god. 2 Gaia Dragons, so you can overlay for your Atum. Pretty much, you're just like, oh, got game, gonna overlay the Atums for Gaia Dragon and win. 1 Photon Strike Bonzer. Bonzer? Yep, not Bouncer. It's Bonzer. It's an amazing card. If you get 8,000 damage, this card's the answer to Gores this format. If you go into this and you have 8,000 damage on the board, you have game through Gores. Because you attack. And they go, okay, drop Gores. Well, you attack with any other monster you have. You attack with Red Eyes Darkness Metal. You attack, 2,800 damage. Alright, drop Gores. Alright, Photon Strike Bonzer, negate the effect to summon the token. So they don't get their token, they take 1,000 damage. And then, regardless if it's an attack or defense position, you can either crash or you can run it over in defense position with this card, and Gores is dead. So if you have 8,000 damage or 7,000 damage on the board, you can just kill it. Oh my god, that's annoying. 1 Catastor, because of Legionnaire. You can go Legionnaire into Phalanx and go level 5. It doesn't really happen much, because Legionnaire's not used too much, but, you know. Vadriana, the key card in the loop. I'll show more loops later. Bryo, because it's good. Gadarge to get Zephyros to grave. Gadarge is the card, how it reads is you can add any wing beast, I believe. You can add a level 4 or lower dragon or wing beast monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a level 1 dragon type or wing beast monster. So add Zephyros to the hand, discard Zephyros. Turn 1, if you don't have a loop, you do this, so next turn you will have the loop. Loop. 1 Stardust, 1 Proxy Scrap Dragon, and a Thought Ruler for Inzectors. Stardust you're going to go to most of the time. Scrap Dragon for OTKs, or if they have Spirit Reaper or any card that you can't get over. Thought Ruler just to troll them, pretty much. Alright, some of the main... I'll go into some of the loops. Some of the, the main loop. The old Dragunity loop. Let's go into that one first. Loop number 1. Alright, loop number 1 was... You start off with a Phalanx and a Dragon Ravine. Only cards you need for the first loop. It's the level 8 Synchro loop. Or you can go Bryo or whatever. It's the level 8 Synchro loop. So what you're going to do is you're going to summon, you're going to activate your Ravine. You're going to ditch Phalanx to the graveyard. Let me Deck in order. Alright, you're going to search your deck for a Dux. Or Dux is right here. Add Dux to hand. Alright. Summon the Dux and attach Phalanx to it. Hope they don't have the Veiler, because Veiler hurts. You're going to use Phalanx's effect to special summon it to the field. Synchro for 6. You're going to go Vadriana. Vadriana's effect is the same as Dux, so you can equip the Phalanx to it. But you can also, Vadriana has another effect where you can send its equipped card to the graveyard to double its attack. So it goes from a 1900 beater to a 3800, which is good because if you have an Achilles in the graveyard, it has the same effect as Hornet, if you remember. So you equip Achilles to it, send it to the graveyard, pop a card, and it's a 3800 swing, which is huge, but it's not used in a loop. Like, first turn, do you want to go 1900 beater or do you want to go Stardust? So you go Phalanx, special summon, sync for your Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon's good because you don't want your Ravine to die. So in this situation, you can just set all your cards and be like, go for it, bro. You got the Heavy Storm, go for it. Good job. Do it, I dare you. Negate Heavy Storm and go on your day. Alright, now that was the old way Dragunities were played. You get a Stardust. Pretty cool, but not as cool as it is now. Now we have a little bit more of a complex loop where I believe all you need in your hand is Zephyros and Ravine. You need Ravine or Mistleton. Zephyros, Ravine. Can you do it with Ravine and Mistleton? No, I think you need a Phalanx in your hand as well. Either a Phalanx or a Dux will work. But Ravine or Mistleton, and of course, Foolish Burial can be placed in the place of Zephyros if you want. So either Foolish Burial and Ravine will get you there, or Mistleton, Dragon Ravine, Phalanx, or Dux in your hand. These both get you the same combo. Monsterborn does the same thing if you want. It would be Ravine and a Phalanx and a Monsterborn would get you there as well. Let me see if I can find a Phalanx. Where do the Phalanxes go? Oh, here's a Phalanx and your Reborn. It'll all get you the same end result. As you can see, 2-card combo, 2-card loop, 3-card loop. This one's very consistent. This one is also very consistent. If you draw Monsterborn, you always have it. And this one is not as consistent because I only run one of each, but still consistent in its place. But let's go with this loop first. So you have the Zephyros and you have the Ravine. What you're going to do is simple. You don't need to use any other 2 cards in your hand. This is a 2-card loop. I just want to grind this in your head before I go off because this is an insane loop, this format. So you're going to use Ravine, you're going to pitch the Zephyros. And to add a Dragunity to your hand. Level 4 or lower. You are going to add 4 Phalanx. Phalanx goes to your hand. Zephyros, bounce Ravine to your hand. Use Ravine. Ditch Phalanx. So now Phalanx is in the graveyard. You add Dux to your hand. Alright, most of you are going to see where this is going in a sec. Summon Dux. Equip Phalanx to the Dux. Special summon. Sync off with the Zephyros or Vadriana. Equip Phalanx. Unequip Phalanx. Sync the Dux with the Phalanx for Vadriana number 2. Equipped Phalanx. Now unequipped. And this is where it's going to be a little bit different than just going Stardust Dragon. You're going to overlay the Atum. Overlay the Vadriana's for an Atum. Pitch off the... Alright, this is my graveyard. pitch off the activate Atom's effect. Go through your deck, summon a dragon monster. Activate Red Eye's effect to bring back Vadriana. Sync with the floating phalanx in the Vadriana to get Stardust Dragon. Now, this is a 2-card loop where it can be consistently put out over and over again. This is a very, very consistent deck. It's sad. Now think about this format. What deck can get over 2,500, 2,400, plus the ability to negate all destruction and a Red Eyes? So one, they're going to have to kill Red Eyes, they're going to have to kill Atom. Otherwise, you don't need to use your normal summon next turn. You can just go off on them as much as you want. You can go, you have 3 slots left. So if they don't kill anything, which I would not recommend, you use Atom's effect, special summon Mistletoe from the deck. It doesn't get its effect to equipped because it wasn't special summoned from the hand. Red Eyes to go Vadriana and overlay for Bonzer. Or overlay for Atom, but that would be not as smart. Bonzer, and then you can just swing. You didn't use a card. You just drew. So you just get free Bonzers after this. And you overlay him with Gaia Dragon. And then you got Game on board. Is that Game? No, that's not Game. But you got like 7,800 damage. It's pretty derpy. Alright, that was one of the loops. One of the consistent ones. Whoa. Alright, let's see if I can go into another loop. Alright, you're going to need Ravine. It's very consistent, you always need Ravine. You're going to need Zephyros, and let's say you draw the Zephyros or the Foolish Burial and the Mistletoe. This is going to be a much more powerful loop because you're not going to need to use your Zephyros to bounce your Ravine, I believe. Let me think. So, let's say you draw 2 random cards. Any cards. So, you're going to summon Ravine. Well, it's not these cards. You're going to ditch this to the graveyard. Zephyros to the graveyard. To add Phalanx to hand. Right? Let me think. I believe you add Phalanx to hand. You summon the Phalanx. You Mistletoe. I might have messed up. Alright. I believe you still need to bounce the Ravine. So, alright, you bounce Ravine, special summon Zephyros. Activate Ravine, ditch the Phalanx to the graveyard. And add ducks to your hand. Summon the ducks. Phalanx. Blah. Now this is just the same thing as before. You're just going to synchro off with all of your stuff to go into your Vadriana play, to go into the Atom play. Now, right here in the loop, you're going to send this Phalanx to the graveyard to get Mistletoe and special summon it back. So you see you have 3 level 6s on the field, which is going to allow you to go off a little bit harder in the way where you can go Red Eyes. I believe you run out of room. I'm going to run out of room here, but let's see what I can do with the amount of room that I have. So I go Red Eyes, special Vadriana, all 5 slots are used, overlay these 2 Vadrianas for another Atom, and detach to special a Mistletoe from the deck. And that would be the same loop as before, where you get the same amount of monsters. You just get one more Atom, and you still get your Stardust play, which is right here. So you still have the Stardust play. It's very good, except you get the extra Atom with the Mistletoe. Pretty boss play. But yeah, there are some more loops with the deck, but they're all a little bit harder to pull off. They're all very situational, where you would need a certain amount of cards. But let me just show you how consistent the deck is. For example, a lot of people are probably saying like, okay, you run one Zephyros and one Foolish Burial. When are you going to draw them ever? Well, you don't need them. You run 3 Mistletoe. Mistletoe and Dragon Ravine will get you there. Along with, this will get you your level 6 play, turn 1. I mean your level 8 synchro play that you want. Or if you have a Phalanx or a Dux, you'll be able to get your other play. So I'll show you just what I'm talking about. You summon the Ravine, you pitch Dux, well, Phalanx. Summon Dux, equip Phalanx, synchro. As you can see, it's starting to turn out same way. And then you bring this out, and then right here you send this Phalanx to the graveyard to special summon Mistletoe, which then Phalanx equips back to, and you have your overlay. They have to be dragons? Yeah, they do. It's two level 6 dragons. You overlay them and go off with your red eyes and get your Stardust play. So tell me what you guys think about the deck. I can show you guys just how broken metal Red Eyes is in this format. Just stupid. Let's just go back to your regular Zephyros Ravine Red Eyes play. I'm just gonna show you how much damage you can put out from just these 3 cards. You draw a dragon. Oh, awesome! I drew the 1 card that I didn't want to draw because you like them in your deck. Not in this situation. Alright, he's going to take a dive for some time. You go Dux. Now you add Phalanx to your hand. You bounce the Ravine for Zephyros. You pitch the Dux for Ravine. You pitch the Phalanx for Ravine to add Dux to hand. Summon Dux. Sink for 8. Oh, 6. Equipped. And then sink for 6 again. To summon the Dux. I'm going a little bit fast because I'm assuming you guys paid attention and know what I'm doing. So you do that to go into your second Red Eyes. The main reason I went to Red Eyes. So right here, what you can do is you can special summon Vadriana with Darkness Metal. Then you can remove from play this Darkness Metal to special summon the Darkness Metal from your hand. Right, I'm not getting enough stuff on the board. Alright, Ravine doesn't need to be here anymore. Let's get a lot of stuff on the board. So now you have a fresh Darkness Metal. And what you can do... Well, I did that wrong. I think you can remove from play the Atom to special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal, bring back Atom, overlay for Atom again, then you can special summon Mistletoe from your deck. As you can see, at this point it required, like, I've been playing this deck for a while, and at this point it's still a lot of thinking just to know what you're doing, because there's so many plays you could go off into, but you want to always do the right one, which is bad in some situations. So right here you could always sync off into Stardust, so you'll be able to get that free. Same field as before, but unlike the field before, this will be 100 damage short of game if you overlay this for Gaia Dragon. So probably not Stardust. I would go Scrap Dragon, which is a proxy. So this will be the exact game if you overlay this for Gaia Dragon. So, well, not exact game. This will be 200 overkill. So 200 damage. Just from Red Eyes, you know, from going 2500 from Stardust to 8200 damage from just having a Red Eyes in your hand is kind of a big deal. This is why this card should be hit on the ban list, especially with Chaos Dragons out there. Tell me what you guys think. I don't exactly know if this video came out exactly well, because for some reason it says 8 minutes and 35 seconds on the recording, which I'm assuming after a certain point, it just started re-recording. But yeah, what I can do is do a test hand for you guys real fast, just to see how consistent the deck will be. Alright. This is how I shuffle. Alright, let me shuffle a little bit good because I put them all in order for the deck profile. Alright, this video is really long, probably going to be, I think it's about 40 minutes because I think after 30 minutes it restarted. That seems a bit long though. Alright, let's hope the deck's shuffled at least a little bit. Deck. Alright, cut my deck. Woo! Cut it up. Alright, let's put this right here. Got Lance and Ravine. D-Prison. Why is that backwards? Did I really shuffle some of the cards backwards? Ducks. Achilles. And then draw for turn, which is another Ducks. So this play is, right here you have your average synchro play, where your level 8 play, or what I would do in most situations, you activate Ravine, you pitch Achilles to the graveyard. This is dead in your hand. You don't want it in your hand. To mail flanks to the graveyard. I did shuffle the cards backwards. That sucks. Alright. So this will be your turn 2 OTK. Not a very good turn 1, but you can deal with it. Alright, you summon Ducks, equip Phalanx. I'm just going a little bit fast. And you stink off into Gaydarge. Whoa, Gaydarge, that wasn't used in any of the OTKs. No, it was not. But Gaydarge is extremely broken. What I'm going to do is activate Gaydarge's effect. I'm going to add Zephyros to my hand. And then I'm going to ditch Zephyros. So as you can see with the Ducks, with the Ravine and the Zephyros and Grave, I have the Ravine Zephyros play next turn. So let's just say they kill my field. I'll set this. Actually, I don't believe they'll be able to kill my field with this back row, because I can lance it. But let's just say I do. And all of my cards in my hand get destroyed. Woo! All the cards I set get destroyed. Draw for turn. Fiendish Chain. Awesome. Don't even need to use Ravine this turn. Summon Ducks. Equip Phalanx. Yeah, buddy. Bounce Ravine. And for Zephyros, you can keep Ravine in your hand. You're not going to need it until next turn. So you're going to synchro off and summon Vadriana. And then synchro off into second Vadriana. My extra deck's all messed up now. Overlay for a Tum. Detach. Darkness Metal. And as you see, you got the play. Turn 2. Consistent. This is about as consistent as it gets. You set your Fiendish Chain, and you tell your opponent that they're going to lose, because if they find an out to start us, they're just going to Fiendish Chain it, and they're going to cry. There's one game. Let's go into game 2, because I want to see if I can open the nuts at one time on camera. But I doubt it. Recently today, all my playtesting has been, I've been just opening, like, I run 3 Terraforming, 3 Dragon Ravine, and just can't get a single one, and it sucks. But let's just go into game 2. Alright, shuffled, not the best shuffling, but let's just say I shuffle that fast. Alright, Deep Prison, woo! Deep Prison, woo! Fiendish Chain, Mistleton, awesome, one of these hands. And Pot of Avarice. Awesome. This is the kind of hand that I like, because this is what you get when you don't draw Terraforming or Dragon Ravine. So probably what I would do in this situation is just set these 2 and see what I can draw. A Ducks. So I have a play, a very good play now. Just from ripping the Ducks, I can Foolish Burial, Flanks. This is why I keep Foolish Burial. usually, like 90% of the time, you're gonna Foolish Burial away into a Zephyros because you love Zephyros and Gray. But because I had no plays, I just went, I'll keep it, summon Ducks, equip Phalanx, sink off into Vadriana. Equip Phalanx, just from ripping the Ducks. This is what you get for ripping Ducks. Send it to the graveyard for Mistleton, and as you see, the play commences, where you overlay for a tome, and you go Red Eyes, and you make Stardust. So, the deck's super consistent. You get plays like, you get hands like this, sometimes, not often though, because you do run 6 Dragon Ravines, and it's a very high chance of drawing it, but as you can see, Mistleton's an OTK card in itself. My next card was Lance, so that would have just protected my field even more. But I think that's it. I don't know how long this video is, but it's going to be retardedly long. But yeah, it's a good way for me to get back into making YouTube videos, making a really, really long video about my deck. So thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you think about the deck. I'll have a trade binder up soon. I don't really have that many trades, but I do have I'm not looking for anything right now. So if you just message me any trade offer, I'll consider it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next video. Peace.